All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Welcome to the Transfer Tech and Two-Year Program Session 3. Before we get started, I do want to let everybody know these sessions are being recorded. If you would not like to be in the session, that is no worries because we are going to post this on the North Shore School District website for folks to review after the fact. But super happy to get started here. My name is Will Smith. I'm the Outreach and Recruitment Coordinator here at the Lake Washington Institute of Technology. I'm joined by my wonderful colleague, Matt Allen, who is the Outreach and Recruitment Specialist at Edmonds College. And we're super excited to kind of give you guys an overview of the community technical college system, all the different pathways we have, and then touch a little bit about our own individual colleges so you guys have a good example of what you might be expecting. So we are going to get started with a quick little overview. So if you don't know already, there's about 34 community technical colleges here in the state of Washington. Of the 34, 5 of them are technical colleges, so like Lake Washington Tech. And then the rest are the more normal community colleges, but still wonderful, like Edmonds, Cascadia, Bellevue, etc. Pretty big group. It's about 273,000 students enrolled across these 34 colleges, across a wide variety of demographics. We have 51% student of color. We offer a wide variety of multiple degrees, right? So everything from certificates to associates to bachelors. We try to offer a little bit of everything for everyone. And then at a super affordable rate, with a tuition as low as $1,500 per quarter, it's a great way to get started on the college pathway. So a couple things if you didn't know already, the community and technical college system was designed by the state to create, this economic mobility, to give people different pathways to be successful in whichever career they want to pursue, whether that's in computer science, nursing, welding, public health, digital gaming, you name it. The state wanted to basically create more opportunities across the entire state. So that's why it's the state's largest system of higher education. Again, it's about 270 plus thousand folks that are enrolled in our schools. Uh, Super accessible, super affordable. We try our best to eliminate as many barriers as possible so folks can get into these colleges. And we like to focus on three main areas, which is workforce education, getting people jobs, right? University transfers, so folks looking to go to the big four-year colleges, having them start on the community technical college level before transferring over. And then basic education for adults as well. So a couple differences between community technical colleges and universities that you might have told already, smaller class sizes, each individual college isn't quite as big as some of the universities, though some of the big ones, Bellevue, Edmonds, Shorelands, are pretty big and they're pretty comparable in size to some of the universities. Affordable tuition, broad range of degrees, it's not just like the universities have with bachelors and masters and PhDs. We have those certificates and two-year associates as well. Tons of transfer options. We do still work with the universities. A lot of students come over from the community technical college level to the university, so offering those pathways. Tons of flexibility. We know students also like to use community technical college as a way to try out some things, explore different pathways, experiment. And then finally, lots more hands-on opportunities available, especially on the technical college level of just getting hands-on with the program. So like the title of this session, I know a lot of you guys are interested in transferring. Again, there's a big push for students going on the community college level and then transferring over to a university. In fact, 39% of public baccalaureate graduates in Washington actually started at a community or technical level. So we're going to touch on it a little bit. There's three main things. There's a lot of details that go involved. So if you're interested and have questions, feel free to take a look at the QR code or that link I have down below on this slide. But the three main options, we'll start with the direct transfer agreement, that DTA, right? It's the most popular, most flexible transfer degree. Almost every single community technical college offers it. And it's basically a way for folks to take those lower gen ed classes, get that math, get that English out of the way, take some electives, experiment with what they want to do for college before fully committing. And then the great part is that all of those credits will then transfer over to all public and many private Washington State colleges. So it's a really great thing. If you kind of have a general idea of what you want to do major-wise, you could do a major-related program. All it means it's a DTA, but a little bit more specific. So instead of being so broad, you could do a DTA in specifically business, right? So you're a little bit business more oriented for your classes. Second option, very similar to DTA, so Associate of Science Transfer and AST. Very similar in all ways, except for it's engineering science specific. So you'll still be taking those gen ed classes. but the only difference is you might take a couple high-level classes that relate to engineering science. So you might take a physics class, right? But same way, it's transferable to all public and many private Washington State colleges. There's some major related programs if you want to do something specific like mechanical engineering or biochem, such like that. And then finally, we have the third most popular transfer option, which is the Associate in Applied Science Transfer. This is that AAST. This is a flexible one, and it's designed for you to transfer or go into the workforce if you want, right? If you're transferring, it's most often transferred to within the community technical college to transfer into the bachelor's that we have. Good example I have is LW Tech. We have a digital gaming transfer. You can do 2 years that way and then jump straight into working for Nintendo afterwards. Or you can do an additional 2 years after that and transfer into our bachelor's program in digital gaming, right? And continue your education that way. And there's a lot to say about transfers, way more than we can cover here in this short session. So if you want more information, I encourage you to check out the link or the QR code below. And I'll pass over to my colleague, Matt Allen, to go over the rest of everything.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Again, Matt Allen with Edmonds College and the outreach team here. And so I just want to talk about very briefly, but there are so many different college and student resources available to students these days at all of the 34 technical and community colleges. And so I encourage you to, again, take full advantage and to reach out when needed to enrollment services as you're looking to apply and get registered and push through, financial aid for funding, advising to plan out your degree plan so that you know what to take quarter to quarter, so you can see the finish line, and that will definitely help you with motivation as you're going through the process. We have assessment centers for math and English placement. We've got a variety of different programs, including disability support services to help you with any accommodations that you might need while going. Then, of course, there's college foundations at each of ours where they offer scholarships every year to students in need. There's student clubs and associated student government where you really help to give you a sense of community while you're going to school. There could be options for study abroad, as well as, again, dual enrollment. Running Start is huge at each of the community colleges, and the opportunities to take college level classes while getting your high school diploma taken care of at the same time. So tons of things out there for you there with each of our colleges. Next slide, please. All right, so fun fact. Who knew, but these celebrities all attended 2-year programs. So I love to highlight Morgan Freeman, for example, world famous actor. Again, looking at his photo, I can almost hear him in the back of my head, just iconic characters and that voice with everything. Steve Jobs, who knew, co-founder of Apple, is another community college graduate and who got his start going that way. And then, of course, went through with iPhones and everything under the sun, Macs and all. Jackie Robinson, the first African-American baseball player and Baseball Hall of Famer, got his start at community college. And then Eileen Collins, female astronaut. And also she ended up being the first woman to pilot the space shuttle, as well as the first woman to command a space shuttle mission, got her start in community college. So it really doesn't matter where you go after high school. If you're driven, if you have a plan, if you take advantage of all the student supports that are available to you, the sky is the limit as to where you can go and what you can do. Next slide, please. So I also like to point out, even though this presentation is all about the 34 technical and community colleges across the state, I also want to point out the 5-Star Consortium. And that's a local one here on the east side where basically it's between Edmonds College, Everett, Shoreline, Cascadia, and Lake Washington Tech. And the reason why we point this out is that this consortium was created to really maximize efficiencies and promote coordination and collaboration amongst the colleges. So one example is if you go to Cascadia and you take their English and math placement, we will at Edmonds College or any of the other colleges listed here accept those scores. So it saves you time and money and you don't have to duplicate efforts and things like that. That's just one of many examples of how this can be beneficial to you. The other nice thing is Will and I are pretty good friends overall, I would say, and we're also professional buddies, but you know, we're always constantly interacting, seeing each other at events and also hosting events like this one together. So we do college fairs, we do diversity events, also career fairs. We even do amongst all the colleges together hiring events. When we're looking for new faculty or new exempt staff, you'll often hear events advertised where all that. So it's really all about the reciprocity of college policies between the 5 institutions, everything in dealing with like in-state residency status and all kinds of other stuff. We just want you to know that it's there between these colleges and it's a good thing to know. Next slide. One other thing that I really want to point out is, and you can find this by going using the QR code with the link, bigfuturessmallpricetag.org. This is a fantastic website. Again, it's a great one when you're getting started because it will point you in the right direction. You can look at what schools are around you, see the distance, and kind of figure out what schools to aim for. But then you can also dive deeper and you can look at what programs. So let's say, for example, you're interested in culinary and baking. Well, it just so happens that both Will and I work for institutions, LW Tech and Edmonds, that happen to have culinary and baking. There are other programs at other colleges in the state as well, but this is just one way where you could look and find that information, and that will help you more define your search as you're going to figure out what institution is the best one for you. Next slide. And it's actually to Will. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So we're going to transition to the second half of this session to kind of give you a deep dive into our colleges so you can get some examples. I see your question in the chat. Thank you. I will have Matt put in the link to that website so you can look at the programs. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If we have time in the end, we'll do our best to answer them. So we're going to go over a little bit about LW Tech. And LW Tech is of the 34 technical community colleges, there are 5 technical colleges. So it's us, Renton Tech, Bates, Bellingham, and Clover Park. And we're all designed to do the same thing. You know, our mission is to prepare students for today's careers and tomorrow's opportunities. And that means is we want to offer our students a really hands-on experience, right? To get them ready to jump into the workforce as soon as they graduate, to have that applied learning approach. That differs us from, you know, the other wonderful community colleges that we also work with, right? So with the applied learning, 4-year option approach, because we know some careers and programs do require a bachelor degree, so we offer that. And then, you know, partnering with the outside organizations around us, especially in the Kirkland, Bellevue, Redmond area. We work with all the major companies like Boeing, Microsoft, Amazon, OSW, all of them, right, to kind of, you know, implement what they're looking for employees into our curriculum. So if you didn't know already, we're located in Kirkland, Washington. So if you've been to the Totem Lake area, you know, where the Lululemon is, the Nordstrom, those car dealerships, you were right in the backyard of LW Tech. And we offer a little bit of everything, you know, from bachelor degrees to certificates to associates to transfer programs to IBEST programs. We try to offer a broad range outside of, you know, just the associate degree, those 2-year degrees. So tons of programs. We categorize them in 7 different schools. So like a school of business with our accounting and entrepreneurship programs, design applied arts, wide range of things, everything from culinary, baking to digital gaming design and more. Education, you know, especially in early childhood education. Engineering, manufacturing, that's where you'll find our welding, machining, engineering programs. Our School of Health Sciences is actually our biggest school. So that's everything from nursing to dental to physical therapy to funeral services. School of IT, like the name implies, we're pretty tech savvy. So that's everything from computer science to software development, cybersecurity. And finally, transportation technology. That's things for auto repair, auto body, diesel work. Tons of different programs that we offer. I always tell people, don't let the tech and LW Tech scare you. We offer a lot more than just tech programs. So again, you know, we don't really have the traditional classroom layout. We really want to focus on the hands-on experience. That's what makes us a technical community college. So whether that's, you know, our students going out and working for the various companies in the region to get experience while they're in their program, to being able to work in actual shops to replicate what their career would be like, whether that's for welding, education, horticulture, culinary, dental. We really try to replicate that, what it would be like if you were actually working in that job, because we want our students to be ready to enter the workforce again as soon as they graduate. Didn't know we have a brand new Center for Design building coming as well. So a lot of those programs I talked about, like art, design, computer science, digital gaming, those will all move to this brand new building starting in 2025 when it opens up. 2 stories. We're super excited for it to pop up, and it'll be right on 132nd if you ever pass by. Touched a little bit on the bachelor programs. You know, 10, 20 years ago, community colleges weren't really known for offering bachelor degrees. Now it's not the case anymore. Almost every single community or technical college offers a bachelor degree in some way. We have 12 of them. So everything from, you know, dental hygiene to design to public health to illustration. And starting this quarter, actually in January, brand new computer science bachelor's program. So tons of options for folks that are looking for a 4-year program, but don't want to necessarily transfer to a big 4-year university. Won't touch on it too much, transfer programs, again, whether it's for the DTA, the AST, the AAST, tons of options if you are, though, looking to transfer to a 4-year university. And Matt did a great job already talking about our support services. All the colleges offer, in some degree, the same support services. Everything from small class sizes, free tutoring, English language learning. We have a big English language learning population here at the school, which is great. We have a disability support service office. We offer Trio. We have an innovation lab free to use for students to do free 3D printing and word working. Our main goal, though, is just to try to offer as many services and opportunities to eliminate as many barriers and obstacles for people so that they can be successful while they're here at college. We do have an open house coming up, so for anybody interested, April 25th, Thursday, 5 to 8, you could come check out the school, talk to professors, get connected, and really see what a technical college is all about. And if this sounds really good to all of you guys, we make the process to get started super simple, as do all the other community technical colleges. So you can go to lwtech.edu/get started. You'll find the full process to get enrolled into the school. You'll have links to talk to our admission coach if you need any help with anything. But yeah, we don't check for minimum GPA. We don't have an SAT requirement. We don't make you guys write any lengthy essays. It's basically 100% acceptance rate. The application only takes about 15 minutes. 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, you'll get your welcome letter, and then we'll get you registered for classes with the help of our advisors or self-registering if you're comfortable doing that. And with that, I'll pass it over to Matt.
All right, so let's dive into Edmonds College for just a minute here. So again, welcome. This photo is a bunch of students on a tour in front of our brand new STEM building, science, technology, engineering, and math, as well as some healthcare out of Hazel Miller Hall. Opened in 2020, multi-million-dollar building, absolutely fantastic. Love it. Still has that new building smell that I can't get enough of. But next slide, please. All right, so why Edmonds College? Small class sizes. Again, I would say in general, you'll see 15 to 25 is the average, which oftentimes could even be potentially smaller than some of your high school classes, which is surprising. So a lot more hands-on, again, firsthand touch with instructors and professors and more opportunity to get in front with them and get help. We offer a lot of flexible class modalities. So coming out of COVID, we've got 100% online classes. We've got 100% in-person classes. We've got hybrid classes where maybe you come to campus once or twice a week and then do the rest online. And then we also have these high flex classes for different opportunities and options there, where it basically, with more audio video technology and higher end stuff, they're able to basically have a live class, have students in class live with the professor while also live online, interacting instructor with those online and in class, as well as being able to answer questions and even talk between students. So a lot of different opportunities depending on what your needs are for classes, depending on time of day or ability to drive to campus all the time, things like that. So something to think about. Also, we're another part of that 100% acceptance. I think the only thing, real caveat there, is that there could be some programs that are so popular, there could be a wait list for them, or for a lot of times for the 34 technical and community colleges, the bachelor degree programs will be those that are competitive admission that may, you could still apply to the college, take classes at the college, get started, and then apply to that competitive admission bachelor's, hopefully to be accepted, and start with that after a time. But generally 100% acceptance. And then of course, saving money on tuition, huge. Again, $1,500 give or take for tuition for a quarter. All those bachelor level classes, 300, 400 level, are going to be less than half of the average of cost of tuition per credit at some of those larger public and private 4 years. So something to think about. Next slide, please. Some of our areas of study. Again, you're going to see a lot of the more popular majors here across those 34 technical and community colleges. Business is always going to be huge. You're going to see computer science. You're going to see engineering. But some of the other ones I like to talk about is we have a robust paralegal program that's highly successful and gets a lot of notoriety from lawyers in the area that hire our graduates. We have a cybersecurity program that the instructors are, ex-FBI and also still continue with FBI and other state agencies and federal agencies, and working and upgrading the curriculum and going from there. We have a licensed practical nurse LPN program, culinary program. We even have a food truck certificate to help with entrepreneurship and getting students out there into the world, as well as robotics and manufacturing. So the only other one I want to point to is in the lower right corner, exploratory. And at Edmonds College, you're able to go and do potentially like a general direct transfer agreement, or DTA, where you're taking all those gen eds that you would normally take at a four-year college in your freshman and sophomore year, and then graduating with that associates and transferring on. It also allows you to then experiment a little bit and maybe take an intro to programming class or an intro to business class and kind of see what's going on. We also recommend our college and career success courses when you first get started at our college, because that will really help get you ready and able, and just we find that students that do those kind of classes are much more successful in the long run. Next slide, please. All right, so our bachelor degrees, we've got 5 coming up. Our 5th one is starting next year in robotics and AI, artificial intelligence, but we also have more of an early childhood education in our child, youth, and family studies bachelor's. We've got information technology application development. We've got a healthcare management degree, as well as a manufacturing and engineering technology degree. Just one of the many ways that our specific school has ways so that you don't have to worry about transferring to another institution to do your 4-year degree. Next slide. I also just want to touch on our AMSC and Water Center. That's our Advanced Manufacturing Skills Center and our Washington Aerospace Training and Research Center. Now, these are actually tied to Edmonds College, but they're up in Everett next to Payne Field. I'm not going to go into this right now, but if you're interested in more hands-on type trade activities, pre-apprenticeship, construction, manufacturing type things, they are giving a presentation tonight through the North Shore School District event. Definitely come and check out their event when it's recorded and on the website in the future. Next slide, please. So again, resources for students. We all have pretty much the same ones. Sometimes we title them differently here, from Career Services or Career Action Center, Learning Support Center for tutoring, Counseling Center, Center for Disabilities, all that stuff. There are so many resources available to students that unfortunately not enough students take advantage of. We just highly recommend, wherever you go amongst those 34 technical community colleges, see what's out there, see what you qualify for, see what you can utilize to help you along the way. Next slide. All right, another thing we like to highlight is our Triton Student Resource Hub. And every community college is going to have a variation of this, or various activities and elements that are there and exist to help students along their path. We, for example, have a food pantry on campus, so helping those with food insecurity. We have a 211 community resource advocate, as well as emergency grant assistance, which is another thing LW Tech has for students that come across an emergency perhaps, or unexpected expense or something else that could potentially derail them on their path towards graduation. They can utilize and reach out to us as a college or colleges and see they might be able to get some assistance along that to keep them in school and pushing forward towards that success. Next slide. Another thing I love to highlight is the community around community and technical colleges. So one way to get involved on campus is through student clubs and through the associated student government. At Edmonds, for example, some of our fun clubs could be the Flyers Club, drone flying, actually on campus, learning about drones, and a great way to make and meet new friends and go from there. We actually have a bee club on campus right next to our campus community farm. We have hives, and through that, they harvest the honey and then sell honey on the college campus. It sells out within minutes, if not hours, and that first day. It's amazing. But then we also have like a robotics club. So we have actually, I don't know if anyone remembers that old Robot Fighting Wars TV show with everything back in the day. Well, we have a mini version of that in our new STEM building in one of the classrooms, where students build and construct robots and can mess around in the arena and send them around and battle and go from there. We also have a lot of academic clubs, so accounting, nursing, engineering, things like that, that you can really get involved and, again, find a home on campus. Next slide, please. Also want to highlight our athletics. So we go through the Northwest Athletic Conference. So if you're a man or a woman interested in playing baseball, basketball, cross-country, soccer, softball, volleyball, you name it, and playing collegiately, you can do that through us. We have Triton Field on campus. We also have Seaview Gym. So that could be an opportunity, but maybe you're just wanting to play around a little bit, have some fun with friends, maybe start up a soccer team. That's also possible through our intramural sports that is now starting to redevelop coming out of COVID. So a lot of good opportunities there. I was actually just at the college campus campus and Seaview Gym last night watching our men's and women's basketball teams represent. Both won last night, and it was a super fun event. So highly recommend look into athletics at Edmonds or wherever you go to school if that's a possibility. It's a lot of fun. Next slide. Also want to talk about housing. So traditionally, we think of housing or dorms being that more large public-private four-year institution type of environment. And more these days, we're seeing community college and technical college actually come out with housing on their campus or right nearby. So we actually have Rainier Place and Triton Court. Both of these options allow students to live in kind of a studio environment in a sense that you don't have to have a roommate. You are living on your own in this room. You've got your bed, you've got your desk and dresser and study table and everything, so you can have your privacy, have your quiet, but then they're more of a communal living environment. So you might share a space then with more one or two bathrooms. There's a shared kitchen, a shared living area with TV, things like that, and free Wi-Fi. So pretty cool option to live with friends or make some new friends while you're here going to college at Edmonds College. Next slide. So I also like to point things out when it comes to cool things on campus. So really here, what we're looking at is in the upper left-hand corner, a gentleman is checking out our museum room in our college library. And every quarter, the exhibits change. It could be a famous artist or individual exhibitor. It could be a local artist, someone in the community. It could even be an alumni of our college with a variety of different things to post. I highly recommend it. It's a neat way to kind of just get immersed, get cultured, learn something new, and take a break from your studies. In the upper middle there, that's actually our Triton Taste Edmonds College food truck. So not only do we have a food truck certificates that helps you learn how to do the entrepreneurship and the business side, but then cook and then manage a food truck, we also have these food trucks on campus as a major way for students to eat and that transition through the campus. So a pretty cool opportunity there. On the far right, upper right, that is our community theater. And so we have a lot of things that go on the campus. And so not only are there student services events and community events that go on there, we have a comedy troupe that does events there, as well as drama 101 classes held there. So a lot of cool things and a pretty cool space to have on a community college. In the lower left-hand side, you'll see that's our beekeepers club with the hives, and they're working with the bees on there. Next to them, to the right, is our campus community farm. On there, we utilize all of the the vegetables and the fruits and everything that's grown there. And that goes to our food pantry or to the volunteers. As a student or myself, even as an employee of Edmonds College, I can go, and if you have a green thumb, you can go and volunteer, and they'll actually give you fruit and vegetables and things that you can take back with you. So it's a great opportunity. And again, all of the proceeds and all of the things manufactured or produced out of that farm go to good things within the food pantry. And then in the lower right-hand corner, I have been so impressed with the 34 technical and community colleges in the state. We are so lucky to live in the state we do for all the educational opportunities and the academic rigor that is there. One thing I'm really impressed with Edmonds College is that we also then focus on the other side. How do students de-stress? How do they, take their mind off studies for a little bit, take a break? So we have, in this case, the Triton game room. And that allows students to play billiards, to table tennis, to sit and play computer games or online tournaments for various gaming systems. There's free food and popcorn and snacks. So again, just another awesome opportunity to make new friends and have some fun while you're learning on campus. Next slide, please. All right, we also have Central Washington University has a Linwood location co-located on our campus. We have a ton of students that will go and actually transfer to Central, meaning that you don't even have to necessarily move to Ellensburg to do so. You can go and for additional certificates as well as bachelor degrees, so a great option there as well. Next slide. And then I also want to highlight our global community. So we have students from over 62 countries on our campus, and those students are living in the dorms, they're staying with host families and coming to campus. So it's an awesome opportunity to make new friends, learn new things, learn about different cultures. There could be anywhere at a time in the course of a year from 500 to as many as 1,000 international students on campus. So it's a really cool opportunity. And then we have a robust international department that has and offers study abroad opportunities. So right now they're looking at Australia and New Zealand. In the future, there's Costa Rica, Brazil. If you're ever wanted to go study abroad, eat the foods, experience the culture, immerse yourselves, and make lifelong memories and new friends, that could be an excellent opportunity for you. Next slide, please. So if you need enrollment assistance, go to edmonds.edu, hit the new start here. You can go to our virtual welcome center. You can talk to student Triton ambassadors. You can set up campus tours, and you can talk to them about how the heck do you go from applying to admission to talking to advising, financial aid, and finally registering for classes. All those steps are listed here. Next slide. So come see our campus. If you want to take a tour, tours are Mondays and Wednesdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They take about an hour. They're run by myself or someone else in our department. And then afterwards, if you want to see our housing and take a housing tour, they offer housing tours after each of the campus tours. So you can always click on the QR code there or the link, or come to our website and look it up and join us there. All right, final slide. And boy, thank you all so much for sitting here and listening to us go for a half hour. There was so much information today. I really want to say, for questions, unfortunately, we're kind of out of time. So please take down our emails, matt.allen@edmonds.edu or will.smith@lwtech.edu. Send us your questions. We will answer them after the presentation or in the coming days. Please do a career fair feedback form. Use that QR code or that link there. And let's see, it looks like, Will, did you put those in the chat as well? Okay, thank you for that so much. Again, appreciate all of you. Like I said, you can't go wrong with the 34 technical and community colleges and all the options there. We just happen to be from Edmonds and LWTech presenting tonight. We wish you well in your search. And Will, anything else to add?
I think you covered it all. Super happy to be here. Thank you guys all for coming. And like Matt said, please, if you have any questions, we would love to help out, respond. So just let us know.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you had a great event, and maybe we'll see you on campus down the road. Take care.